So hello everyone, my name is Gabriela Laborda. I'm from Brazil. I am the mother of Caio, who is 25, and Maíra, who is 6, and she has Down syndrome. And I'll be talking to you about the importance of exchanging experience in the empowerment of families of people with disabilities. Most specifically, CHAT21, which is my experience, and I am very happy to be sharing this with you. And I'd like to thank very much for the opportunity to be participating in the Congress. So I'd like to start talking about the pregnancy, and how we also use the word to expect a baby. And when we say to expect a baby, we're not just talking about waiting for the baby. We also create expectations. We are always wondering what the baby is going to be like, what it's going to do, and how things are going to be. And no matter what we imagine, it could be the simplest thoughts that we may have. The baby will never, ever reach our expectations because we cannot plan the future. We cannot create a baby exactly how we want. The baby will come, and either way, it will never be how we imagine, ever. And so there I was, pregnant and creating loads of expectations, because that's what we do when we're pregnant. And then came Maíra, this cute little thing there. And at this moment, I felt very worried and very concerned, like most parents that may be watching this lecture today, because I didn't know anybody with Down syndrome. I didn't know any families of people with Down syndrome. I didn't know anything about Down syndrome. And that thought scares me, because to take care of a child is a scary thing. And having a condition that you don't know anything about, that's even more scary. And that causes me to feel very isolated. So as I went through the process of understanding the diagnosis, I started reading and researching a lot, and I understood that there is a process of overcoming a new situation that impacts your life, and that can be any new situation that you know that from that moment on, your life is never going to be the same. You're going to have to readjust your plans, your future, and sometimes you even overthink a little. Sometimes you think that it's like going to be a lot harder than it is, or you just don't know what's going to happen. In fact, you never know what's going to happen. But when your plans are kind of changed totally, you start to go through this process of understanding. So you have the shock, the denial, the anger, and some people go through depression and detachment of the situation until you start going up again, until you accept the situation. So through this process, you can encounter a lot of problems, emotional imbalance that impacts directly the health and well-being of both mother and baby. The feeling of not belonging, caused by isolation and lack of knowledge of legal rights and misinformation on how to take care of a baby with CHAT21. You also have parent neglect and children with CHAT21 that are put to adoption. So these are some things that can happen in the process of understanding the situation if you do not go through it with support and with connection. So, as I was going through my process and going, I went through a lot, not all of them, but a lot of these feelings and these situations that's in there. I started to go up the hill, up this curve over there, and a few things kind of hit me, and I needed to talk to people. I need to to find information. It doesn't matter how long you go through this process. It could take a month, it could take hours, it could take days, it could take years. But the longer you take, I think that the more difficult it is for you to carry on with life and have a good quality of life for you and your child. So then I went to see the doctors, because that's what you do when you have a child with Down syndrome, and that's who you look for. And then it hit me like, I had a few questions, for them, because I was very fortunate. I did have some very nice doctors. It's not always the case here in Brazil when you do get the diagnosis. And I was very fortunate, but nothing that the doctor told me actually convinced me that everything was going to be okay. I didn't believe him. And everything that he said to me, I probably repeat today to others, but I didn't believe him, because I just kept asking him over and over, how do you know what I'm feeling? How do you know everything is going to be okay? Do you have children with Down syndrome? So I did not validate, I did not believe on him, because he never went through what I was going through. So basically, what happens is that we are constantly searching for representation. We're constantly searching and trying to find ourselves in others. We need to know that we are like others, so we feel that we belong. Sharing our experiences with others gives us perspectives and meaning to move forward. We need to connect. We need to see ourselves in others. So Emilia Frank, I'm going to put my glasses now so I can read this to you. Emilia Frank Meyer is the founder of the CEO of Alea Innovations for people of systems impacted by childhood trauma. She very much is focused on childhood development. But I suppose I was watching her TED Talk, and I strongly recommend it. I think we can put it to any situation. What she says is very much true. So trauma disrupts our capacity to connect. When we can't connect, we can't belong. And when you don't belong, you feel as you have no protection of our tribe, and our brain acts as though our survival is at risk, because it is. And when we are set outside of our tribe, when we don't have protection of others, we must rely on ourselves, which is inadequate to ensure our survival. We need to feel that we belong. So how do you do that? How do you find other families that went through the same experiences? That's me, again. How do we connect with people that we don't yet know? How do I find them? I don't know anybody with people with Down syndrome. I sometimes you do go to organizations, but they don't have other people that are willing to talk to you, that want to share the experiences with you. Sometimes people just want to carry on with their lives, and they don't want to talk about it. So how do you find people, families that have children with Down syndrome, that actually do want to talk about it? So these questions went with me for a long time, and I went to Social Good Brazil, which is a program for social impact to help people develop ideas that will impact society in a way. So I went there, I researched, I worked with lots of people, and there was a 3-month process that we went through, and we created CHAT21. CHAT21 is the Central Humanizada de Acolhimento T21, which means a central of humanized acolhimento. There isn't a word that translates it, but It's welcoming the families, and it also means a bit like nesting, like taking care of something, you know, to connect, to use empathy, to understand the situation that that person is in. And that's Acolhimento. So basically, it's a portal for welcoming these families. And we are a digital portal where we have online, free place where people can meet other families. So you go there and you click on this button there that says Pronto Atendimento. And then you fill up a form and you go to WhatsApp. There is a group there with other volunteers, parents that have been through the same process, and they know how important it is to talk with other parents. And they meet, and we show them lots of materials. We have a partner called Movimento Down, and they produced amazing material that we show them, from protocols of how to take care of people with Down syndrome, from all sorts of guidelines that we talk to them. We talk to them about our emotions. We listen a lot, actually, and all the parents they are there. The volunteers, they are there because they know how important this would have been if they had this support. Things could have been a bit different. Maybe they wouldn't have taken so long to carry on with their lives. So here how it works. I went through the process already. So they access the website, they fill the form, and they go through WhatsApp. And then we transfer them to another WhatsApp group in the state where they live. So they connect with other people. So they start to know about hospitals and, I don't know, therapies and schools or whatever, you know, everything that they want to know. Exams and anything that they need. They can exchange their information and in these groups locally. So we have over 30, I think we have more now because we also have theme groups, so like breastfeeding and West syndrome as well. Some children have Down syndrome and West syndrome. So we have all the states of Brazil, mostly, not all of them, but almost all of them, and covered with groups. And we have connect over 2,300 families. And we have created a channel on YouTube because we felt that all the contents, all the questions were kind of repeating themselves because everybody have sometimes the same questions. So we started to make digital content, start to make videos about all sorts of things. Related to Down syndrome, but not specifically for people with Down syndrome. We talk about speech therapy, we talk about food and healthcare. There is a lot of content, and we have 120,000 views already on YouTube. And this is our map where, you know, there are all the groups that we have. So the statistics, I can't say it, statistics in Brazil of Down syndrome is, according to the Brazilian Institute of Geography and Statistics, there are 270,000 people with Down syndrome in Brazil. However, this isn't quite right. In fact, we underestimate a lot because here is an obligation to inform the government that you have a child with Down syndrome. So lots of people don't know that, and the hospitals, they don't inform. So we don't have the right numbers about how many people have Down syndrome. We have a very underestimated, the numbers are very underestimated. So what happens, they think that it may be like maybe double of the numbers. But either way, we work with the number that we have, which is 270,000 people, which is more, if you think about a network around these people, so you think about an average family in Brazil is 3.3 people per family, plus a teacher or a friend of a family or grandparents or whatever. So if you think about, the network of people which is around this person with Down syndrome, we could think that we have more than 1 million people affected by having this diagnosis. So in Brazil, we have 1 in 7, again, the numbers are not exactly right. They are underestimated, but working with the numbers we have, in Brazil, we have 1 in 700 babies are born with Down syndrome. So the interesting thing is, if you think, well, 1 in 700, it's not a lot. However, we have an average of 350 babies being born per hour in Brazil. So if you think about it, you're going to have every 2 hours a baby, a newborn with Down syndrome, and possibly during a day, 12 babies with Down syndrome. That is 12 families, on average, in this underestimated number, going through, again, this whole process of overcoming this new situation, and maybe even going through all the problems that I have referred at the top. So it's very important to connect. It's very important to feel that you belong, to find meaning. Sometimes when you are talking to other people, when you are exchanging your experiences, you realize that you know a lot more than you think you did, and you can contribute. It's so rich to be able to tell your experiences and hear other people's experiences, and then you, that kind of opens up, an awful lot of possibilities that you might not do exactly how the other family is doing, but you know that there is another way of doing it, and you know that for them didn't work or for them did work, but basically you just know you have a lot of possibilities, as if when you are on your own, you just have your way, and that's very isolating for any situation. So about CHAT21, we have a few future goals, but I think our main focus is the social inclusion, and I'm going to put my glasses again, and also reduce inequalities, have good health and well-being, social inclusion, I've already mentioned, and the development of people with disabilities. And then on a further aspect, we also would love to build, we are building, in fact, a CHAT21 app in order to have safer digital environment with more tools, so we can connect more people, when we can have other tools, digital tools, that we can help more people to find solutions. So also we don't spend so much time searching, so much money searching for healthcare and other things that we look for when we have a child with Down syndrome. We'd love to extend CHAT21 to other countries. Maybe we could replicate this model also to other disabilities, such as autism and anyway, any other things, any other conditions that may need this kind of support. So, and we also would like to find other ways of having sustainability, so we can expand our platform, so we can also tell more people, have more, find more people they need support and need to talk to people, to other families. So that's it. I'd like to present to you our partners from the beginning on. I also would like to, this movement Down Minutes Down, I also would like very much to thank all the volunteers that helped us to come all this way. In any, I mean, they helped us so much. They really are. I mean, CHAT21 is a real example of exchanging, of helping, of contributing, collaborating. All the people that are working in the WhatsApp, receiving the families, welcoming the families, they know the importance, and they do that with so much love and care. It's amazing to see. I mean, people in the middle of the night sometimes, you know, when the mom comes in with a baby that can breastfeed and needs to talk to somebody, and there we are, you know. So thank you very much for all these people, all the volunteers that work with us. I'd like to very much just say that we won the SGB lab, what we were one of the projects that won. We also went to the British Council to present our project, and I went to the Senate in Brazil as well to talk about CHAT21. So I'm very, very proud. It's something that I would never in my wildest dream think that I would be doing this when I received my diagnosis, which is, well, the diagnosis of my daughter, which is something to think about. I mean, we always think so much, and we could never predict what life is going to be like. So I'm very, very happy to be here. I'm very, very, very happy to be Maida's mom. And that's it. Oh, I also like to talk about, say thank you to our institutional support and to our legal support. And there's our ward. And that's Maida when she was 3, I suppose. And thank you. Please visit our website, our YouTube, our Instagram, our Facebook. Thank you very much. I hope to have helped you somehow. Thank you.